Are you secretly kind of mad that Americans have TikTok back again? A little bit. First thing you're doing if Queenstown was a bit warmer. Well, not move there. Call me crazy, but it's not the temperature that's stopping me from moving to Queenstown. What are the best and worst things about living in Welly? Love your videos, by the way. First of all, thank you. I think off the bat, if you hate Wellington, I get it. I understand. I'm very open about how much I like Welly. No, how much I love Welly. I lived there from 2021 to 2024, or the start of 2024, and visit all the time. But it's also kind of a ridiculous city. The whole city in the hills just looks really pretty. I like being in there from a visual standpoint. But at the same time, it's a bit of a hard sell. It really is the windiest city in the world, and you can tell the second you get there. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of summer, you want to pack a hoodie. And although the city in the hills is beautiful, nightmare to drive in, just straight up dangerous. The amount of driveways I see where it's like, you back out of that every day, I would personally develop a stress ulcer. That's just me. And it's ridiculously expensive for the quality of building you get most of the time. And the water system has been a mess for as long as I can remember at this stage. Just random swimming pools popping up in random streets. It's quirky. It's really quirky. But there's also a vibe that I just personally don't feel anywhere else. Even in the winters where it's pretty miserable, I'll be honest with you. But there must just be a screw loose somewhere because I romanticize it so much. So to answer your question, the best thing about it is that it's Wellington. It's one of a kind. And the worst thing about it is that it's Wellington. It's one of a kind. Also, if you move to a new town, lock your doors, alright? What do you think of NZ Spring? Personally, I think it's criminally underrated. Summer is nice, but I just think the temperate of spring is way better. Top 5 favorite and least favorite New Zealand cities/towns. Ooh. Okay, I'm just gonna speed this because if I let myself talk, I will talk way too much. So, number 1 city, it's Wellington. Don't shut up. Alright. Number two, I'm gonna gatekeep. But it's in the Taranaki area. Am I gonna say Auckland? No, I can't. No, it's Taupo. It's Taupo. As in the area of Taupo, I really enjoy Taupo. That's where I am right now, and I really like it here. I don't love the township, but the area is cool. Are we talking about the city or the area in this question, do we reckon? That's what it really comes down to, because on pure city life, like, I kind of have to put Auckland in there because it's Auckland, but I don't want to. I'll put Auckland at 5. I'm okay with that. I feel okay about that. I feel like I'm forgetting somewhere major. I enjoy Christchurch, but am I putting it at number 4? Dunedin has its moments, but it also has a lot of moments. I also have positive feelings about places like Napier and Hamner Springs. But I haven't been there in so long, I don't know if I can really say I like those, you know? Alright, nah, Christchurch, lock it in. Least favorite just feels mean-spirited. It just feels mean-spirited. and I feel like there's a lot of pressure for me to say somewhere like Hamilton. Because I've made so many jokes about Hamilton. But I'm also like half considering moving to Hamilton just because it's got cheap, good housing, you know? I'm just going to put all the hurt on Palmerston North, which is also where my parents met, funny enough. And when I lived in Wellington, I'd take the bus to New Plymouth. If there was an hour wait in Palmerston North, you'd change buses and stuff. It'd all just take ages. And it just pissed me off every time. Where you'd have to stand a square for an hour and you had your luggage on you and you didn't really want to walk anywhere, and it was also like essays just patrolling. So yeah, Palmerston North kind of sucked, and I would say that a lot. However, I'd taken the bus just one day after posting a video where I made fun of Palmerston North, and it did okay. I want to say it got a few 100,000 views. And keep in mind, this is in a country of 5 million people, so that's a decent chunk of the population. And I was sitting there in the square, and this guy who looked like he could beat me in a fight, I'll say that much, comes up to me and goes, "Hey bro, do you make TikToks?" And I said, no, absolutely not. If you were a potato, what form of potato would you be? I'm gonna say like a deep, crunchy curly fry. That's what I identify as. What's your favorite pie? Brother, I'll give you a full tier list right now. Alright, let's start with the obvious one. Mince and cheese, it's S tier. I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. Steak and cheese, I believe would go either A tier, could be pushed up to S tier if you really ask me about it. I always appreciate how a steak and cheese pie will cool down far faster than a mince and cheese. Buttered chicken, as I feel like a strong C. I've only tried it once or twice. Everyone who says that buttered chicken's your favorite pie, who are you trying to impress? If you can't eat beef, and you know, I guess you're not trying to impress anyone. Maybe you just like it. I don't. C tier. Fish pie. Now, I unfortunately developed an allergy or an intolerance to seafood. I used to eat heaps of it. Now I can't eat it without my stomach just cramping up. Can't really eat fish and chips anymore. It's a real tragedy. But even if I didn't have that, I still wouldn't eat a fish pie. And this is in the context where you'd get like a pie like at a petrol station, one that's been, you know, sitting in a hot tray for God knows who long. And I just don't think fish is a meat you want to eat in that kind of context. You know? I don't even think they're that common. I have seen them before. I know they're out there, and someone's buying them, and that kind of keeps me up at night. Standard mince is B, just super solid, but you're never getting this if there's a mint and cheese also in the cabinet. You're getting this as a backup. Regular steak is there as well. Am I missing any major players? Oh, bacon and egg? B tier. I must be missing something, but I'm blanking. So that's my tier list. I hope you like it, because it's right and correct. So, maybe a dumb question. I know you're from NZ, but where'd you grow up? Autumn in July. Fuck. To answer your question, I was born in New Plymouth, but I was meant to be born in Harwater. Don't know the specifics, wasn't really there. And so I grew up between Manaia and Harwater in South Taranaki. I went to school in Harwater, but, frequented the Manaia library a lot. And then in 2013, I moved to North Taranaki. I went to high school in New Plymouth, and then I moved to Wellington. And now I'm in Taupo. This one wasn't put in the anonymous bucket, but I am going to protect this person's identity because I know them and I don't want them to be unemployed. Again. But to answer your question, it's Clanker, which is of course directed to robots and, artificial kind. This term is from Star Wars, by the way. I didn't make this up.
Hey, Clankers! Over here.
Adam, when would you ever actually use this? Clearly you've never been cut off by a bot in Mario Kart. Or clearly you're not paying attention to the great AI debate about taking over workforces in the creative fields. These bloody clankers, bro. Taking our jobs. Can I put this in? Like, who am I offending? Like, the robots? They're not gonna mind. What inspires you to create the shorts you post? Engagement. Not really. Kinda. Obviously, sometimes I just get an idea or think something's funny and I just want to make a video because I enjoy making videos. And so the inspiration is just, I want to watch this or I want to talk about something. But also at the same time, I'm running a business and so I do try to make content that I think is going to resonate or engage with the largest group of people. And the place I found the biggest success in that has been talking about New Zealand, making content about Aotearoa New Zealand. And I used to always get excited when I saw mentions about my home country. Well, I say it like I've left, I'm still here. But seeing my home mentioned in the media I watched and, media that I could see other people were watching always made me feel excited, and clearly that's a sentiment that's shared with a lot of people here. But I do like the idea that I can give it to some people, and I've met people and, got on messages that employers that I do, and that actually does inspire me to a certain degree. I hope that answers your question, Ezra. What do you think about Levin? Driven through it many times. Always make a joke about, now we're living in Levin. Gets the whole car laughing every time. Can't say I desperately want to live there. But as far as small towns that are positioned on highways, there's worse. There's Otaki. Thoughts on the show House MD? I've never watched a full episode of the show, but I've seen the memes and I've seen lots of clips on it. You know how Snapchat shows you TV shows now, like Suits and all that? Watch some through there. He always seems to be trying to sleep with his patients. And one time it was an 18-year-old girl, which I think breaks the rules of the oath that doctors take. You know the one, what's it called? Like the Lifesavers Guild? That's absolutely not what it's called. Hey yo, why do they call it oven when you of in the cold food of out hot eat the food? Hamish, what the fuck? Are you having a stroke? Because I feel like I'm having a stroke. Also, new and exciting things to share. Hope you're being well, by the way. Thanks, Hamish. I hope you're well as well. Exciting things to share? 2024 was pretty good for me. I broke out onto another platform and had my best run of views ever. I signed with management, which, feels like things are getting pretty legit when you do that. Bagged a couple brand deals of blue chip major brands. Got a girlfriend. I can't complain right now. I just want to do more work, which in itself, the fact I can do the work is a blessing in itself. So, yeah, feeling grateful. If you could make any city in NZ disappear, which one would you do, Palmerston North? What are we going to do when Ferrari wins both championships this season? If Ferrari win both championships, I think we've got to be in Abu Dhabi, bro. I'm just saying. Would you rather be the reason the moon explodes or the reason the sun stops shining? Moon explodes, I suppose. But I'm not thrilled about the decision, Favorite game? Favorite movie? I've always typically said that my favorite movie is Ocean's 11, but favorite game? Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom has been my favorite overall gaming experience, I would say. But also, not mentioning Minecraft feels a bit, rude to the memories I have in that game. I've also played so much Mario Kart 8. Also, Ratchet and Clank at Crack in Time. Pre-Fire as well. Halo Reach. Halo in general, but you gotta remember Reach. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Both of them. Katana Zero, criminally underrated. I also had a massive Splatoon phase. The Lego games are so good. Lego Universe, RIP. That was a short-lived, amazing experience. Avicii Gravity on iOS. classic. I played Just Cause 2. Never played GTA, but I've played that. We're gonna stick with the Zeldas, but there's a lot of contenders. Would you rather... some of these are foul. Hey, I'm not reading them, but some of these are bad. As an Aussie, want to say you're an absolute legend. Thank you. I'm so happy to hear you didn't take those jokes personally. Are your feet ticklish? Stay away from me. Okay, so hear me out. What if Jibber Jabber actually yammered instead? You know, I hadn't considered that point before, but articulated like that, you might be onto something. Guilty pleasure watch. I feel like this is where I'm meant to say some reality TV show like Love Island or something, but I'm just really deep inside Men Among Us. I wouldn't even say I feel very guilty doing it. I just know it's not the highest form of media I consume.
Listen. I'm the mystic, and I can see that Viz and Vic are safe.
You're
and
the
Simon
what, bro?
was also
Are you not going to
safe.
get voted out now, Toby?
I'm sacrificing myself.
Me and
Viz, Vic, and Simon were... Get played, Bez.
All right, well,
You got the wrong one.
Get played, Bez. Get played, Bez.
Favorite video you've made? It's probably a tie between vlog finale 22 and 23. Hopefully 24 competes. But also all the ones who have done exceptionally well, you know, getting 1 million+ views or getting certain reach. Also hold a special place in my heart, but I'm not really as proud of those. I can't really think of anything I made that would top a finale. I liked the old robbery video when I made it, but I would have done that differently now. Why the fuck did you cut your hair? Because there was a mop, bro. Did you see it? Favorite console of all time? I'd have to say the Nintendo Switch. And I don't even have the full Switch. I have a Switch Lite. I've just gotten so much enjoyment out of it since I've had it. The best possible handheld I could have ever wanted, really. Shout out to the PS3 though. That was my first console. Worst place in NZ. Why do you keep trying to give this out to me? Palmerston North. What would you do if you woke up with $1 billion? I'm so glad you asked. Okay, first of all, 500 million, I'm putting that towards charitable and good causes because that's so much money. Why aren't I donating a full billion? Because I am selfish at the end of the day. Could I even spend 500 million though? I mean, I don't have to spend all of it. I feel like 200 million seems like a pretty nice amount to make an investment fund out of and, you know, try and make sure I don't ever run out of money ever again. Make it work for me, as they say. I'd also buy a Ferrari Daytona SP3 and buy a house somewhere. I'm not sure where. Somewhere nice. Nothing, you know, 20 million should do just fine. And it's barely a dent in our pockets. You know, I'd get a big eye shit on as well, because why not at that stage? I would also want a Lamborghini. The new one is fire, but I'd probably want a nice Aventador. Even a nice Huracan. I could be okay with it as well. Why not both at this stage, honestly? I want an Aston Martin as well. That's what I drive. Or maybe like a Mustang. Why not both? Again, we've got so much money in this situation. I'm also then fixing my phone screen. No, I'm getting a new phone, actually, in that situation. I'm just getting the newest iPhone. And a flash Android, and I'm running both of them at the same time because I have always wanted to live the MKBHD lifestyle, you know? Not the thing to say after talking about fast cars. I understand that now. I didn't think of it before I said it. I'm also buying myself Richard Mille, and I'm going to buy a woman's version for my missus. It'll probably be like another couple million, yeah, all things considered. I'm pre-ordering the Switch 2. That's got to happen immediately. I'm buying a pair of Red Octobers because I want them. I'm buying so much Lego. I'm also building a substantial Hot Toys collection. Call me a nerd, I don't care. I've got $1 billion in this situation. I also want those old off-white Nikes. That feels necessary. I'd definitely upgrade my camera. I don't think I'd want a red just because they seem so much admin to use. I'd want to stay with like a Canon. I'm just gonna redo the whole camera setup, make that shit 4K because I do everything in 1080p still because that's just the kind of guy I am. Getting a PS5 as well. Big TV in the house. Goes without saying, doesn't it? I'd also buy like maybe a season pass for the F1. And maybe the tickets to the NBA Finals. Look, it'd be tricky to spend all of it. Not that I have to spend all of it, but I would give it a go, you know? Would you rather make out with a moose twice a year to save your parents from death, or try your luck at seducing Michael Bay once to save all of humanity from all diseases / cancer? This is a no-brainer to me because I only have to try and seduce Michael Bay. Even then, it's just one time. I want to make out with a moose twice a week. I want to make out with a moose at all. And also, if I do the Michael Bay one, I still save my parents. Right? What is your routine? I sleep terribly and wake up and make terrible time management decisions. Why are you gay? I'm not gay. I have a girlfriend. I've been answering this question for like 7 years. Oh my God.